What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for popping into my review for Saving Private Ryan. It just happens to be Veterans Day, and my Steven Spielberg review series has led me to almost the perfect film to talk about. The ultimate Veterans Day movie, if you will. This is the best war film I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of great war films. This movie is certainly the best for me. I think Steven Spielberg, with his filmmaking style and his directional style and how he's able to move the camera, but do it in such a realistic way when he has to. He brings the fantasy and mystical style with like E.T., Jaws, and Indiana Jones. He can kind of transport you into a different world. Or with films like Schindler's List and Amistad and now Saving Private Ryan, this is a masterclass in filmmaking. And the story of the film, and it takes place, I do have it pulled up because I don't want to give you the wrong dates or anything. I feel like this is extremely important information. The film picks up the Omaha Beach sequence. And Omaha Beach landing happened 1 year before the end of World War II. It occurred on D-Day, June 6, 1944, which was a crucial but early turning point in the war. So the war ended a year later, May 1945. So 11 months later, basically. That's kind of the history of it. And Tom Hanks plays Captain Miller. He's the captain of this little battalion that he's got. When in the beginning of the film, on that Omaha Beach sequence, he loses a majority. He loses a lot of people, and throughout the film, you hear that he's lost almost 100 people at his time being a captain for the military. So it's really deep. The film isn't just this war movie, this rescue film. They've got to go save Matt Damon's character because his brothers have died in combat, and the higher ups have seen this, and they said, you know what, we're going to send this kid home back to his mother. It was a very noble thing to do. The film has immense heart and it has immense soul, and I think that's because of the masterful screenplay, Spielberg's wonderful direction. He can make a tank feel like a monster, like it's the shark in Jaws. When they're throwing those grenades or whatever, and the tank comes overhead. I mean, that was just an incredible piece of filmmaking. And the way the thing just kind of comes over the hill, it almost reminded me like the truck from Duel. You know, so many things Spielberg does in his career, hints and nods at kind of things he's done in the past, but in the best way possible. He's able to pull at our heartstrings. And Tom Hanks is absolutely fantastic in this movie. He's playing a very reserved character until he's pushed to his max. He's pushed to his limits. And he's like telling everybody finally who he is because they're, bickering between each other. Should they even save Private Ryan? Is it worth it? Are their lives worth going to save another life, no matter what the cost? There's a lot of great conversations to be had during this film. And seeing it again, I'm just completely wowed, completely mesmerized. My only nitpick with the movie, and it would be a nitpick, is the runtime. It's like 2 hours and 42 minutes or something without the credits. You can feel it. It doesn't drag. The movie's entertaining, but you can feel it. You know what I mean? It didn't fly by. Like Schindler's List is over 3 hours. That film flied by faster than this one. But regardless, this movie, it is entertaining, but you can feel the length, at least for me anyway. But that's really it. Like, I'm sitting there like, okay, sure, it feels a little long, but I am invested in caring about all of the guys that have to go on this mission. Tom Hanks' character, who is one of the most noble characters in film history, and he's not overwritten. The writing in this film is perfect. It really is perfect. And you want to know something? I am going to get the Oscar history of this film, and we're going to do it live because I want to know. I know the film didn't win Best Picture, but it won Best Director for Spielberg. And 5 Oscars the film won. Okay, so it won Best Director, a winner for Sound Effects Editing, Film editing, sound, and cinematography. Okay. I mean, totally makes sense on all that. Was also nominated for best score by John Williams, which I think is a good score, but it's really just a theme. I mean, the hymn to the fallen. I mean, there's some background music, but nothing is prominent. I mean, this is a very mellowed score. John Williams is really just kind of letting the film speak for itself and putting his respects when he has to. It's a very good score. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a very good score. And it's a great theme, you know. I mean, the movie's got a really great theme. And yeah, it was nominated for writing, but it did not win. And Tom Hanks was nominated as well. So yeah, I mean, this movie is just a powerhouse of a film. It proves again that Steven Spielberg is just a masterful director. I've got the 4K Steelbook here, which I watched it tonight, and yeah, I mean, this movie. To be honest, I didn't know before going in. I was like, okay, at the top three of the Spielberg films right now, I've got Schindler's List and E.T. and Jaws. And throughout the movie, I'm thinking, okay, it's probably going to be fourth. The film continued, and I was like, okay, I don't think I like it more than E.T., but then the film continued, and now I think it's number two. I think Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan's are monumental movies. I mean, really monumental films. Even with the visual effects, I'm sure they had to add digital effects somewhere, but you can't tell because they're so good. Was the movie even nominated for effects? Visual effects? No, I don't think so. Maybe it was all practical. I really have no idea. But the effects were stunning. I mean, the effects really. I don't see a effects nomination. The visuals are stunning in this movie, so it totally feels like you're watching war footage. I mean, there was a thing where the guy was looking through his little magnifying glass, and you got to see the view of that. When any character dies in the film, I was emotionally into it and I was invested. Saving Private Ryan is a timeless masterpiece, and it's a 5 out of 5 star film for me, which I think is just, you know, this and Schindler's List are films that almost don't even feel like they're movies. They just feel so much more bigger than that, so much more important. I don't know. So that's my thoughts on Saving Private Ryan. Comment down below. Do you plan on checking the movie out? It's Veterans Day. Just so happens to be Veterans Day, so maybe it's a good time to do that. It's a little under 3 hours. You got the time? Definitely come on back to the channel for reviews for new release films like The Running Man and Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Wicked for Good coming in just a little over a week here. You guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram at KingArises131. And the next Spielberg review on the channel is going to be for AI, Artificial Intelligence, his follow-up film to Saving Private Ryan, which was 1998. AI, Artificial Intelligence, came out in 2001. That's where we'll be headed next. And guys, thank you so much for watching this one. And we'll see you next time. Over and out.